Welcome back to the Full Force Fathers podcast, Dave. We've hit another decade, another milestone. It is episode 40.
How is that possible? Episode 40. Man, oh man, this year has gone by so fast. We always talk about consistency. Here we are for the 40th week in a row.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is it's been a whirlwind of a year, dude. We're like 12 days from Christmas, which is crazy. So I hope you guys all have your shopping done. You did it on a budget. You listened to our budget episode last week and made sure you guys are staying on the right track. Just a whirlwind, man. It's December. I can't believe that this year it's here, man. And we got an awesome show today, Dave. We're going to talk about goal setting, which I just think is tremendous because I'm a big goal guy. And we're going to go over some of our personal goals, talk about a little bit about goals and stuff. So I'm excited. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I took the lead last week with budgets. You're going to take the lead this week with goals. That is right in your wheelhouse. So I can't wait. Let's just dive in.
All right, let's jump right into the Bible verse today, Dave. And that comes from Proverbs, which, as you know, I read Proverbs every morning. This one comes from Proverbs chapter 30, verses 8 and 9. And I put both in there because 9 ties 8 together. But 8 is the proverb that I really, really love. I love them both, obviously, but the 8 is the crux of it. 9 just puts a bow on the end, and it says, "Keep falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread." And then Proverb 9 says, "Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, 'Who is the Lord?' Or I may become poor and steal, and so dishonor the name of my God." But this, I just think this rings so true in the sense that, God, everybody's, it ties into goal setting. Everyone's chasing a dream, right? Everyone wants to get rich quick fix. Everyone's, chase. No one just stops and is focused on what they have. And, you don't need to be too high. You don't need to be too low, right? Give me only my daily bread, all right? Don't give me poverty or riches. Give me, something right in the middle because, yeah, a lot of rich people, they're greedy, right? And then you disown God that way. Or if you're poor and you resort to stealing because you don't have any money, right? You're just looking for that middle ground. Be grateful for what you have and don't be too high and don't be too low. And that ties into goal setting in the sense is don't set a goal. You're making $20 an hour and all of a sudden you say you want to make $1 million this year, or, you're 400 pounds and at the end of 2023, I want to be 115. You know what I mean? Set realistic goals, tie it all in together. Don't be too high. Don't be too low. That's really the crux of that Bible verse. You got any thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it basically says, God's going to provide you what you need. He's going to provide you what you need to go through life and believe in him and trust in him and what he's providing for you. And I think that speaks volumes to that. And, one of the other things too, that you mentioned, rich people can, be a problem or whatever, but everybody says money is the root of all evil. It's actually the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you are wealthy and you have been granted that that wealth or that fortune, but you've done well with money, God's blessed you in that regard. Again, we went back a couple episodes, we talked about being good stewards and being good stewards of it. So if you do good things with that money, you can make a big impact in this world. So it's, recognizing that and recognizing the blessings that you have to make other people better as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Being a good steward is, stewards all over the Bible. And everything is God's anyways, as we know that, right? Everything is for him. Everything is his. We're just caretakers or accountants of his money, of everything. So, dude, I don't know about you, but I am super pumped. This is a sneaky good number, by the way. Number 40. And let me throw it my way first before we even get into names. Number 40. Originally, I'm like, yeah, it's got some, it is like a New Mexico State number 12 seed that knocks off like a number 5. Like a number 5, it's not an 8-9 because those are usually power conference, but it's like a WAC team or a Mountain West team that has a good season, finishes like 28-5, gets in and plays a 5-seeded Virginia or something, right? And knocks them off. Because this is a sneaky good, non-power 5 school that is going to maybe make a little noise in the tournament.
Yeah, I started putting the list together pre-show for the number 40s, and when I started I was like, oh man, this is gonna be ugly because I wasn't finding much out of the gate. But as you start digging into the sports, you end up finding there's some really, really good players there. So if you put them all together, yeah, they're from different sports, but if you put them all together, man, it's a really good team, sneaky good team.
Let me just tell you, if you are playing against this number 12 seed and they get a lead, it's over because they are going to pound the rock and kill the clock because you got Gale Sayers in legendary running back, right? Mm-hmm. And the one that to me blew me away, dude, Mike Allstott, right? The great Chris Berman, you're in good hands with Allstott, right? Give him the ball. Yes. It was a guaranteed. Those Tampa Bay Buccaneers teams, they had work done and those great defenses with Simeon Rice and Warren Sapp. No. If that ball they had the ball inside the 5, it was a touchdown by Allstott for sure.
Every time.
So if this team gets a lead in the fourth quarter, you're not beating them because they're killing the clock off. They got a great offensive line and 2 great workhorses in the back.
Yeah. And then how about Bill Laimbeer? They got the enforcer on the team.
Yeah.
Bill Laimbeer out there just throwing people to the ground. I mean, he's a great number 40. And this one, I didn't even remember. How about Sean Kemp? I mean, Sean Kemp back in the day, man, he used to be so much fun to watch. The crazy dunks he would have, the swag he would hit the court with. Like, he was that Seattle Supersonics. He wore the long shorts. Like, he was, I don't know, he was just balling out. He was always so much fun to watch.
That was a good team, dude. He played with Gary. They made the finals. I mean, they lost in 6 games to the Bulls. He played with Gary Payton, Detlef Schrempf. That was a good team. Yeah. That was a good basketball team that came out of the West.
Did Ray play with Sean Kemp at all when he went to Seattle when he first went there?
No, because I think Kemp was already gone, and he played in Orlando later in his career. So I think he was already gone by then because Sean, he's significantly older than Ray Allen, I would imagine. But yeah, no, he's good. He's real good. He's a good one. Who else is on that list?
So I'm sorry, you broke up for a second there. So did you name any other players or no?
I did not name it. I was just talking about Sean Kemp and Ray Allen. I don't think they played together.
Okay, cool. So how about we got current NBA player Harrison Barnes. He's been around for a while. He's played quite a bit as a number 40. Then we slide over to the baseball side. How about Bartolo Colon? What a career that guy had. I mean, geez, how long did he pitch? He was a starting pitcher, overweight starting pitcher. I feel like he pitched till he was 45.
He pitched to he had to be in his 40s, and he looks the same. His entire career, he looked the same. He never changed. Same face, same hair, same body size. I mean,
wild.
I mean, and if you're watching on YouTube, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. It looks like Dave has got Jesus shining through the blinds on him. So we apologize if you're watching on YouTube.
The sun is coming over the mountain right now in about 10 more seconds. You're not even be able to see me.
Yeah, you're gonna just look
literally unbelievable.
Dave's gonna turn into a ghost on the screen here in about 5 minutes.
I feel like I'm on the surface of the sun.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Anyways, that's a little side note. If you're watching us on YouTube, I apologize for the sun shining this morning on Dave's face.
Yeah. So, oh man, first world problems right here.
Yeah. Let me tell you. And then you got a couple hockey players I saw you put in that list.
I'm sorry. I'm still laughing about the sun.
Yeah, that's all right.
How about Tuukka Rask from the Boston Bruins? I'm not a big hockey fan. But man, I used to turn on the playoffs. I always enjoyed watching the playoffs, and Tuukka Rask always seemed to show up for the Bruins in the postseason. I know he had 1 championship. He might have had 2. I'm not quite sure. I don't follow it close enough. And then Henrik Zetterberg, I believe he played for the Red Wings. So another good hockey player there. And we didn't even mention 2 other baseball players: Madison Bumgarner, great pitcher, and then Rick Sutcliffe, who is a legend too. So. Really, so far so good. And I know you got one on the soccer side, which that seems to be your new trend, is fitting him in on the soccer.
Well, listen, World Cup finishes up here in a week, so I got to keep the soccer going while I can. But one thing on Bumgarner, he may be one of the most clutch World Series pitchers of all time, playoff pitchers of all time. Big, hairy American win machine, left. You know what I mean? Just on the mound, didn't give a shit. You knew he was showing up for a big game. You know what I mean? Long, scraggly hair, just showed up. Give him the ball. Just give him the ball. And you know, obviously he's I don't know. I mean, this is going to pose another question. Is he a Hall of Famer? I think he is. Think he's a Hall of Famer?
I think so. I think you're right.
Plus he's got the rings to back it up.
Yeah, the hardware is going to make a difference there. I think he is. I think he makes it.
I'm pretty sure those San Francisco Giant teams, they won three titles in 5 years, which is impressive.
Mm-hmm. That it is.
And so continuing with the soccer theme, Jack Grealish, who plays for Manchester City, Jackie Grealish, who is an absolute megastar in the sport of soccer worldwide. Aston Villa sold him to Manchester City for over $100 million just a year ago. He's a star on the English national team as well at the World Cup. He wore number 40 for a very short time in Aston Villa, 2013, 2014. Before that's when he was coming on as an up-and-coming young teen star. He wore the number 40 for Aston Villa, 2013, 2014. So that is that's your soccer update for the numbers for number 40. And these will go away once the World Cup ends. Dave will be happy again. Just everyone knows. I was yelled at this morning by Dave when we were recording. It's December 13th, and he told me I couldn't wear a Santa hat, which is a little bit on the.
I did not say you could.
It fits the theme of him being Oscar the Grouch. He's the Scrooge. He's the Grinch. We all know this from previous episodes. Dave is not a Christmas fan, so I took the hat off to not make him upset.
Now, you're acting like my kids. I did not tell you can't wear the Santa hat. I just simply asked, isn't it a little early for the Santa hat? I said, this isn't the Christmas episode. Why are you wearing the Santa hat? I didn't say don't wear it. I just posed the question.
Because it's the middle of December and Christmas is 12 days away. You should be in the festive season. You should be wearing green and red and Christmas hats all the time right now. Christmas music should be blasting. Your oven, your kitchen should smell like cookies at all times. That's it, man. It's Christmas season. Dave, listen, everyone, if Dave had it his way, he'd put the Christmas tree up on Christmas Eve. He really would. It'd go up on Christmas Eve. It'd be gone the 26th.
Absolutely, it would. No question about that.
All right. So let's hop into today's episode. All right. Today is goal planning 2023. We are just 3 weeks away from the end of the year, less than 3 weeks away from the end of the year. All right. So let's talk about goal planning. I want to talk about some goals that I have. Dave, you got some goals that you want to talk about. But let's talk about goals in general. I don't even know. It's just a saying that I know. A goal without a plan is just a dream, right? So goals, everybody should have them. You should have them in all aspects of your life. You shouldn't just have them in financial situations or in physical, your health, your spiritual, whatever it is, your parenting. You should have goals very, very finely detail oriented and mapped out in all aspects of your life. Okay. From a fitness standpoint, obviously that's the big one for everybody, right? Because we're right around the corner, Dave. We got New Year's, everyone's New Year's resolution. 75% of the population says I'm going to get in better shape. And 74% of that 75% never get in better shape because they do the old college try. They get a gym membership and they're done in about 2 weeks. That's just the unfortunate truth because people lack discipline. And people really lack the drive. You got to find what lights you on fire. You have to find the why you're doing it. And unfortunately, in our culture, obesity and all those other things are just the norm. And if you eat healthy and you go to the gym, you're called obsessed. In the great Cam Hanes, obviously, you have to be obsessed to be great at anything. You have to be misunderstood. And I'm not saying everyone's got to go out and be the fittest human on earth. But you got to grab a hold of your health because we are in a pandemic of obesity and unhealthiness in this country. So you need that physical, health goal for the end of the year going into next year. Everybody should have one. I have one, and I run 60 miles a week, and guess what? I still have one. Dave, you do 75 hard once or twice a year. You still have physical and health goals that are important to you. But you have to set clear. They have to be clear. Right.
Give somebody an example. I know we've talked about it on the show before. You set a standard for yourself coming into 2022. Why don't you share with everybody kind of what that physical standard was that you did for the year and how you did with it?
So let's see. So at the beginning of 2022, when I set I do something, it's my daily standard. There's a lot of people, Ben Newman's another one who does the unrequired. I just, every day, I got to get out and work out. And there's a physical standard of just push-ups, sit-ups, bicep curls, squats that are just, they're bare minimum standards, right? Everyone should have a baseline standard, right? And mine is at least 500 reps a day, minimum every single day. to be honest with you, I didn't do 365 out of 365 this year. I probably missed 3 days, maybe 4 days, 1 day travel, which is pretty damn good. I'm hard on myself, and it's a streak that was snapped. I think I went like 162 days, broke it, missed a day, and then did another 100 something days and missed a day or whatever.
But had you not set that goal, made it a measurable goal and something that was attainable to you, I mean, how many days would you have missed at that point? Who knows?
Okay. You don't even know, and that's why it's important to set the goal and set the routine with the goal. So
right.
my daily standard is done by 8 o'clock every morning. It's just part of my morning routine, and that's what you have to do, especially when it comes to physical goals. You have to institute them in part of a routine. So whether that means your routine is you go into the gym in the morning before work, getting your workout in outdoors or indoors before you go to work, or if you're post work, go to the gym type of person. But it has to be a plan. There has to be an action plan to that. Dave, I cannot believe how that sun in your face right now. I'm sorry again, guys, if you're not watching on YouTube.
This is outrageous.
Yeah, Dave, this may be in history, the first podcast ever where the host was forced to wear sunglasses because he literally looks like
now I look like a raccoon.
He looks like a ghost and now a raccoon. So, but to tie into physical goals, I think you need to make them, but it has to be a realistic goal, Dave, right? It can't just be any random thing. Like I said, you can't say I'm going to lose 250 pounds this year. More than likely, that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But if you set that goal to walk 2 miles every morning and get to the gym 3 days a week, and you consistently map it out and have a plan for it, you'll be amazed at the results that you do get. You know what I mean? Versus just winging it all the time. Because listen, you can't wing fitness. You can't. You just can't. You cannot wing it.
You can't really wing anything. I mean, really, you can't wing your finances. You can't wing anything. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have goals set. Otherwise, what are you working towards? I mean, you're not working towards anything. So, you have to have some sort of a plan in place for all of it. Fitness is no different. Finance is no different as well. So, I think, and like you said, I mean, you gave yourself a measurable marker every single day of what to go for. Okay, you missed it 3 days this year. I'd say you hit your goal this year. Right. So, but I just wanted you to give kind of everybody an idea of what you meant by having like a kind of a specific fitness goal. Cause it's hard to be like, oh yeah, just go outside, be active. Well, what does be active mean? Do I need to run? Do I need to ruck? Do I just need to walk? Or maybe just any of it. Like you do any of it, but you just got to have you got to get outside. You got to burn some calories. You got to have something specific to target to hit. Otherwise you're going to find yourself being lazy and you say, oh, just go outside. Well, you're going to go outside and you're just going to take a small stroll. You got to have that plan in place to make it effective.
Yeah, and for me, it can be somewhat difficult because I don't have obviously the number one goal for most people in trying to get their health turned around is weight. It's always the number one. Everyone wants to lose weight, right? What do you want to do? I want to lose weight. For me, I don't want to lose any weight, right? I'm 205. That's where I'm at. I don't want to be any less or any more. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's more maintaining. And for me, I set my goals are totally different than most people that are trying to lose weight, right? If you're trying to lose weight, then your goal should be walk every morning, go to the gym 3 days a week, make sure you're cutting out sugar and soda and garbage, and you're eating healthy 5 days a week instead of eating unhealthy 5 days a week and healthy 2 days. Those are goals, attainable goals. You can map out your meals. You can map out your gym schedule. You can map out your walks. You can set your alarm line. For me, my daily standard is a goal. I also have goals throughout the year, like, okay, this month I'm running 250 miles, right? That's what I did last month. That was my goal. 250 miles. That's insane, by the way. But that's just that's the type of goal for me. So I know, hey, if I want to hit 250 miles this month, then I got to run, 62 and a half miles a week. Okay. Do the math. 8 miles, 8.5 miles a day gets me there and I'm good to go. So that's like an example of a goal that I'll set. But for a fitness health goal to lose weight should come with more than just I want to lose weight, right? You said it's got to come with a plan. It's got to have an action plan, right? And I'll tell you, the number one place to do it is in the kitchen. Set your meal plan for the week and do your very best to stay 100 on the meal plan. That's when you see the big gains. Yeah, you'll see the gains from the cardio and from the weights and from the working out. But if you don't tie it in, like there's another great saying, you can't outrun a bad diet. You can't. You really can't. If you just eat garbage all the time, McDonald's and sugar and crap, it doesn't matter how much you work out. It's never going to matter,
Yeah, that's 100% true. And you got to take it a step, not just your meals at home. You got to bring, if you go to work, bring your meals to work. If you're at home, don't go out and buy lunch and bring it home. Make those things, because that's going to make all the difference in the world, and it's going to help your budget too. So it's kind of compounding there. But yeah, you can't have a decent breakfast, but then stop and grab a donut and a sugary drink on your way to work, and then buy lunch out and have a soda and some unhealthy thing there, and then come home and try and have a healthy dinner and make it all better. It doesn't work that way.
You could wreck your diet every day by just having garbage. You know what I mean? Because you don't know how fast you put 2,000 calories of processed sugar and shit in your body, which just can doesn't matter what you do for the rest of the day. You already put 2,000 wasteful calories in your body by eating a box of donuts and having a soda. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you do for the rest of the day.
No doubt about that.
You can't do anything about it. And the other thing about goal setting too, especially physical, and I'm going to ask you a financial goal question here in a second. Get an accountability partner. We talk about it all the time. Dave holds me accountable. I hold him accountable. It doesn't matter who it is. Someone you work with, a friend, your spouse, your kids. I mean, you listen to any success story, there's always somebody. There are a few that just do it in the dark. They do the work. They don't need any outside help. They just get it done on their own. There are a few. I personally, when it comes to physical, that's how I am. When it comes to my health, I don't need any help. I already have the drive, the motivation to hit goals. But when it comes to financial, I need Dave, because Dave's like, dude, you're being an idiot. Don't do that. Or, hey, have you thought about doing this with an investment? Those are the things that I need the motivation for, because the financials where I'm sloppy, man. I'm sloppy with that stuff. Where the physical, I'm not. Right? That's why an accountability partner for that, especially if it's something that you're going to struggle with, if you get somebody to help you with it.
It is. It's so important. And you're my accountability partner on the fitness side. I mean, a couple of days ago, you said that means you go out for your run this morning. Nope, I didn't go for my run this morning. Why not? And I was just lazy. I stayed in bed. I did it again the day after. And this morning I woke up, called you 5:30. Your phone rang because I knew you were waiting for my phone call, because that's the time I need to be out there getting shit done. So that motivated me to get out there. I very easily could have laid in bed again and waited till the sun came up, but then that would derail my day because I wouldn't get that stuff done early enough. So yeah, having an accountability partner is a huge thing. Whether you realize it or not, it's going to help motivate you.
Yep. No, there's absolutely. So, those are two big takeaways from goals. All right. Have an accountability partner, someone that you can lean on, someone that's not afraid to tell you that you're being a bitch, and mapping him out. Having him, I'm telling you, when you have it written down on paper and it's in front of you where you see it all the time, it's kind of like if you tie it into the baby steps with your financial stuff, right? If you have it on the fridge or you have it on the wall where you make a check on it every day, right? Make a chart. Did you work out today? Check, dude. That check makes a difference when you have it in front of you. Same thing goes for your finances. When you get to cross a line out, that's finally paid off. Did you see the progression? And it's so much better. But if you're, like you said, you can't wing it. If you're just saying, all right, I'm going to go to the gym today, or I'm going to eat healthy today. If you don't have it written down in front of you, there's a great chance that you're going to deviate from that the plan that you want to accomplish versus actually accomplishing it when it's written down in front of you. It's very simple. I have a little book on my desk, my office desk. If I write out my power list every day, I'm going to get the power list done. But if you don't, you know how it is, right? Even that has nothing to do with physical or anything. That's work related. But if I don't write down my tasks, there's more days that I will not get the task completed if I just say I need to do that today versus if I write it down and I can actually put a check mark next to it.
Yeah, you find yourself just wandering. You're like, all right, what should I be doing right now? And you spend more time thinking about what you should be doing than doing the things that you know need to be done. And that's where the inability to get those things done come from, because you're not focused on it. And you can accomplish so much more when you have a list together. Call it a power list from Frisella or call it what you want. That is what it is. And it's there to make you better and help you accomplish those things every single day and keep you on task so you can be more efficient and get much more done with your time and get the important things done. Not just get things done because people are like, oh, I got a lot done today. But did any of it matter? Did any of the stuff that you did actually make a difference in your life? That's the question.
Yeah, no, and we were talking about, when we were talking pre-show about this, and this is something that I own, we were talking pre-show about goals, right? And I'm like, we were kind of just half-assed looking back at this year. A lot of things have changed. And I admitted to you, I was like, man, you know what? I wasted a lot of time this year. because I was clear and concrete in my fitness goals, financial, but I felt I wasted a lot of time because I wasn't I do the power list. I try to do it every single day. I'm honest. I don't do it every day, but I felt like looking back at the year, with it being a down year in my regular business market, like I feel like I wasted a lot of time this year. That's something I really need to improve on moving forward next year,
Yeah, but you did make big strides about the halfway point of the year. That's kind of where you ticked up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you made up for some of that. But yeah, it's great to be honest with yourself and realize, you know what, the first 6 months of the year, I wasn't doing what I needed to do to accomplish the things that I wanted. But you're able to recognize that. Now you can use that and build into 2023 with goals that you know are attainable. And now you can push those even further because you know what you're able to attain these last 6 months.
Yeah. Now, in terms of financial goals, we're going to jump into our goals here in a minute. Give me some tips for someone like myself who's not 100% on the ball all the time. I do my best, or just for people in general, like a physical goal, like we've gone over. You want to lose weight, you want to run a marathon, blah blah blah. What's a good game plan for like a financial goal? Like obviously get out of debt. Like does it all start and end with a budget? How does a financial goal, like what's a good way to tie it in?
Starts and ends with a budget. You've got to commit to doing the budget. So if you're going to have one financial goal this year, I would say commit to doing a budget 12 times. You're going to do 12 budgets. Okay. Mm-hmm. Every single month. That's what you're going to do. And that already is going to give you a leg up and put you in a better financial position. But beyond that, once you get into that routine of doing that, what are the things you could do? If you're in debt, it's how much debt can I knock off this year? So if you've already gone through the budgeting process, you know how much money you have coming in every month, you know how much you have to put towards your debt. Well, what's a realistic goal on how much debt I can pay off this year? Can I pay off 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, depending on your income and how much you have for debt? You can make it. And then you could set that goal and be like, you know what? If I get a part-time job, I can pay off this much more. So you make that goal. You set a goal, how much debt you want to pay off. Now, if you've already got your debt paid off, maybe you need an emergency fund put together. Okay, well, how fast can I put my emergency fund together? And that's the goal you set based off your income and your budget. We're always going back to the budget. And you could say, all right, in 3 months, I'm going to have my 3 to 6 month emergency fund locked and loaded, or whatever it is, however long it takes, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. It could be the entire year. Maybe you don't get it done in the entire year, but you're working towards that goal. And the same thing on retirement planning. It's one of my goals for this year on the retirement side. If you've gotten yourself out of debt, you got an emergency fund. Well, how much can I put into my retirement? Perfect. I can put what I need to in. That's where that goes. And then everything above that we know is going to the house. So how much can I chunk on my house this year? How much can I take off of that principal? So those are some of the financial goals that you can kind of go after depending on where you're at. But it all starts with the budget. If you don't commit to doing the budget every month, you're not going to be able to commit to doing the other financial things that ultimately get you to that place of financial freedom that we always talk about.
Right. Yeah, no. And I'm about to go through my goals here, and I think there's one on here that you're going to really, it's going to get you excited. So I want to hop into goals for 2023. I know we're less than 3 weeks away, and I want to hop into here. I'll go through my goals, maybe touch base a few minutes on each one if it requires it, and then we'll hop into your goals. Okay. Goal number one for me, sure. I want to run 2 ultras in 2023, and that's a big goal. That's a big physical goal for me this year because I know my body. I'm in a great place endurance-wise, and 1 ultra a year is usually good. And I'm already signed up for one 30-miler in the fall. The caveat to that goal is one of my ultras I want to be a 50-miler. So I have – go ahead.
When is Chad Wright's? I know that's one that you've always looked at and wanted to kind of participate in. Is that one that you could do? Chad
Wright changed his race this year. So last year when I should have did a 50K, which was – before we moved, that was September it was October last year. So I didn't get to do it. And it was a 50K. This year he changed it. It was just last month. He changed it to a 4-hour or an 8-hour total. Mm-hmm. So, which is okay. You can still have a goal to see how many miles you want to run in those 4 hours or how many miles you want to run in those 8 hours. I don't know why he did it. I didn't, reach out to him or his team, which I wanted to last year. Because that's one good thing about Chad Wright and his team. They're very responsive. You reach out to him by email, they always get back to you. I never did. To see maybe he was trying to get more runners this year. Maybe the 50K course last year was hard, or just maybe he switched it up to make it more of a last man standing type event. But yeah, so I am signed up for something in the fall. And then I want to do something, maybe up in the mountains in the summer. That would be ideal. Which ties into my biggest goal of next year, and that's get back to Arizona. Like Andine and I, we love Virginia. We love it here. We love being rural, but the biggest goal for both of us next year is to get back to Arizona full time, and get there and be there, which can tie into my 50 miler because there's a bunch of 50 milers out west that are in the mountains in the summertime where the weather's fine. Obviously, I'm not looking to do a 50 miler in Tucson in June. I mean, I do want to I still want to be standing at the end of 2023, So that's my big physical goal. For a personal goal, it's actually, I want to read 24 books next year. 12 months, I want to read 2 books a month. I want to be consistent. And ever since 75 Hard started, the first time I ever did it last year, January 2021, I've been such a very, inspired reader. I've been reading a lot of books. But I do want to set that goal because when I'm not on 75 Hard, I still am reading, but I'm not reading with as much intent as I am on 75 Hard. So I want to make that a goal. Because beginning of January, I'll do 75 Hard again because I want to finish the Live Hard program, which will finish next summer for me, which would be phase 3, which is really cool because I've never finished the entire program. So next June, I should be finishing up phase 3 and have completed the Live Hard program. So I do want to just stick to 2 books a month. By the end of next year, I want to have 24 books read minimum. From a financial goal, there's a couple financial goals that I want to do. And these are the ones that you're going to make you smile. Obviously, I want to have my best year financially. Every year, you want to have your best year financially. But from work, I want to really focus on relationship building at work this coming year, which in turn will spurn great financial success or prosperity in my job. Because as you know, in the mortgage business, I'm a relationship guy. That's more important to me than the transaction, building the relationship with people. And I forever will never be an advertising guy. I'm a referral-based business. So it's a good challenge to continue to build relationships to have my best financial year ever through my job. And I'm in a great spot with work. I love where I work. I'm on a great team with good support. And I think the market, is going to turn around. So I think it's going to end up being a tremendous year for me financially. This is the one that Dave's going to like the most. I want to open up and max out a Roth IRA for myself and for Andine next year. Dave's been on me a lot lately. Finances have been tight. So trying to find that, $200 a month to stick away or $250 a month to stick away hasn't been the best or the easiest for us, but that is a goal of mine. A major financial goal of mine is to open and max out on Roth IRA for me and for my wife, which will just help us work on our retirement stuff moving forward. And then the last one, I have one personal goal I'll get to last. The last financial goal is I've never done this in my life. I have bought cars, financed them, and then paid them off before. But I want to truly have because Andine, when we moved, we sold her car. I truly want to be able to, Dave, just walk into the dealership. Now I want no bullshit negotiation. I'll finance and then pay it off afterwards, which I've done before. I want to walk in there like a badass and say, fuck all y'all. This is the car that I want, and I'm paying cash for it. And what I want everybody to say, hey, come on, financing's better. Do this, low interest rate, low payment. No, I just want to go in there and I want to say, nope. I want the out the door number and I want to write a check. That's it. That's what I want.
It's the best feeling. We've done it twice now.
Yeah.
Casey's car and then my car last year. And it's the best feeling. You just go in, you're like, that's the car I want. And you go in, they sit down, they're like, do you want that? You find it? Nope, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want how much is the check for? Yeah. And you write the check out and you hand it to them, you drive out with the car. It's the best feeling ever knowing you own it. It's all yours and nobody else can take it from you.
Yeah. And then my last goal for next year is something that Andine and I, I love my wife more than anything in the whole world. I want to commit. We tried to do it this year and it didn't work out. I want to commit to at least one. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but one date night a month, and with kids and with sports and with school and with work. It sounds easy, but I want to be intentional with Andine and I. One night a month, whatever it is. It's the first Wednesday or the second Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever, every month. Write it down on the calendar. Have a babysitter already ready to go and do that. I think that is so important for our relationship to just have alone time. Not that, I'll be worried about the kids the whole time when I'm not near them anyways, but just for the two of us to be able to hold hands and look at each other and be with each other and not have an outside noise like kids on us when we go to a restaurant, just the two of us. Maybe I won't go to the movies, never mind. But maybe it's a walk, a lunch, a picnic, anything, just a legit date, just my wife and I.
Yeah, that sounds great. Those are some great goals. Are there any others, or is that's your list?
I mean that's my list. I mean
That's
those
the
are
main list.
those are the big ones for me.
That's great. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to jump into mine. One of the areas I want to get better at this next year is faith. It's something I feel like I've taken some really good steps towards this year, but I want to get better at it. So a couple of things I want to do. I want to make sure we're doing blessings before every meal together as a family. And also I want to read the Bible every single day. And I've done a better job of that towards the end of this year. And I think that's going to help propel me into next year. So that's faith-based. It's a big one for me for this upcoming year. Another one, I want to do 75 hard again. Not necessarily, I don't want to finish the Live Hard program that we started earlier. I want to do 75 hard again, and I'd like to do that right at the beginning of the year. So right when we cross over, we'll be done with the move. Everything will kind of be settled in. I won't be driving across the country and doing that stuff, trying to fit in the double workout. So I'm going to commit to 75 hard at the start of the year and get 2023 off on the right foot, which is also going to help propel me to two other fitness goals that I have. The first is running in the Nashville Rock and Roll Marathon. I'm going to sign up for the half marathon. I've never done a full. I've done two halves. I don't think my knees can take the full, so I'm gonna go for the half again. I think that's a good distance for me. So that's in April. So that's going to be a good one for me to target. Another fitness goal for me is to be ready for the Nashville Colon Cancer Coalition Get Your Rear in Gear 5K, which comes up in March. I'm looking forward to that. That's a foundation that's really near and dear to my heart. As you can see, I'm wearing a shirt that says "Check Your Colon." And that is for the Cancer Coalition. I lost my mom to colon cancer, so being a part of that event is special. I've been a part of it once before in Tucson before they changed the event and wrecked it. But the Get Your Rear event is really good, and I want to raise $1,000 for that as well. So that's a part of that goal as well for that event in March, which I'm excited about. On the financial side, we want to replace Casey's car this year. So our goal is that by the end of 2023, we can do that. We can upgrade her car because she's had it for a few years. It's got a decent amount of miles. And again, we're going to go in, we're going to save, and we're going to pay cash for it. And that's that, if you do things the right way, you keep working towards those financial goals. And then the last one is on the financial side is putting 15% of my income, our family income, into retirement every single month, no exceptions. And this year we had a couple months that, we fell off of that because of the crazy things going on. We had months where I wasn't getting paid from work, and other months where, we're getting ready for the move and things like that. So next year, now they've got the new job, salaries are consistent, no exceptions. It's 15% every single month that goes in, and that's gonna help us towards our financial goals. So those are my goals. There's a lot of meat on the bone there. Yeah. A lot of things that I got to hone in to become specific and measurable and make those things happen. But that's the crux of where my 2023 is.
That's good, man. I love all those. I remember doing the Get Your Rear in Gear 5K with Madison in Tucson with you a few years back.
Yeah,
I didn't know that something happened with it and what they messed it up. But I mean, that was a fun event. I remember how cold it was in February running that race, and it was chilly. I mean, I'll be doing 75 hard along with you. Finley's birthday is January 4th. I always start it every year. This will be the third year in a row that I start it. The day of her birthday, I always start it.
So January 4th, that's the day we're starting?
Yeah, it'll be the third straight year that I start on the same day. So that's Finley. I mean, I'm going to do 75 hard, but for the first 30 days, it will be phase 2 for me.
Sure.
Because I'm not going to throw away phase 2 because then my timing will be off. But for the first 30 days, it will be phase 2. And then the second 45 will just be finishing off 75 hard with you. And then because I can't technically start phase 3 until June. So, it'll be good. Yeah, I like all those, those are all good goals. And I mean, with goals, guys and gals out there listening, got to write them down. Do this with somebody. Have a goal planning meeting with your spouse. Have a goal planning meeting with your best friend. Have a goal planning meeting at your job, right? I know one thing my office is doing next week. We're getting realtors in the office, and we're doing a 2023 goal business planning lunch and learn right in the office, which is good. So, it's important to have goals. It's important to write them down. It's important to go over them with people. And so if you guys got goals, man, send them over to us. I want to hear about them. Send Send them
Hey,
however way.
and if you want to start 75 hard on January the 4th, let us know. It'd be great. We could have a big group thing going through 75 hard. Maybe we can get Carp back on it.
Yeah,
And, get him to run through it again. So if you're out there, you're listening, you want to be a part of it, you're not sure what it is, reach out, let us know. Happy to walk through that with you and go through the process with you, because guaranteed you'll be changed after 75 days.
Yeah, no, for sure. And to segue into the book recommendation, this is like a holy Bible of running for me. This is called The Cool Impossible by Eric Orton. This book is phenomenal. As you can tell, if you can tell on YouTube, look up. It's pretty beat up. This book has been on airplanes. It's been under beds, in offices, you name it. This book ties into a book recommendation that we did a while back called Born to Run. He was the coach. Eric Orton is the coach for Chris McDougall in Born to Run. It actually ties into a goal, because Chris McDougall had the goal to learn to run without being injured and run the Copper Canyon 50 miler, right? So he's the coach. This book will give you, if you guys are into running or you want to get into running, read this book, because it's part story, part training manual, part diet guide, part everything. It's got exercises in here for foot, muscles, like things to make you a better runner. But you also get his story, which is pretty cool. By the way, he lives in a place where if there's a dream of mine to ever live in a certain place, he lives in Jackson Hole, which is just one of my all-time favorite places on earth. And that's where he lives. It's a part running book, it's part story, it's part diet book. It's everything all wrapped into one. It's tremendous read. It's got, I'll open it up. It's got charts. So if you want to run your first marathon or half marathon or 5K, this guy, for God only knows what it would cost, $15. Go get it. If you want to get into running this year, that's one of your goals. He's tremendous. And I know this book works because I followed it. I can tell you, after reading this book and following his plans and stuff, my running times were so much better. I have a friend of mine in Arizona who read this book. I lent it to him, and then he started following all the exercises and stuff. And to be a little bit of a running nerd, he was like a 350 marathoner, the guy. Dan is his name, my buddy Dan. After reading McDougall and following his plans, he is now a sub 3 hour marathoner. So you tell me if it works or not if you follow the guy's plan for running and diet. It's tremendous. So, and he's got one of the best diets ever in this book. It's a 20-day sugar detox. I challenge anybody who wants to kickstart their health at the end of this year or the beginning of 2021. The 20-day sugar detox is exactly, this guy tells you how to go into the grocery store and shop, like what aisles, because I don't know if anyone knows, but there's a science behind the way aisles are set up in the grocery store. They want you to stay in the middle of the store. They don't want you to stay on the outside of the store. They want you in the crux of the middle where all the garbage is. They don't want you on the outside where the perishable goods are, the produce, the meat, dairy, and all that stuff. He literally tells you how to go in the grocery store and shop. But his 20-day sugar detox, I've done it before. If you have a weight issue or a diet issue, if you do the 20-day sugar detox, you will lose 5 to 10 pounds just off the diet alone, not even doing anything else, because it dissects your diet to the point where you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, wow, I'm gross. I'm not kidding. It dissects you down to your very core. So great book, The Cool Impossible by Eric Orton. Follow him on social media if you want, but get the book. It's a great book. He's now written a follow up to this. There may be a newer version, but you don't need a newer version. This is the original, and it's tremendous. So that's your book recommendation for the week.
Good stuff.
So, anyways, guys, set your goals, and we'll be back with you next week. Christmas episode, Dave. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's the Christmas episode. I know you'll be able to put your Christmas hat on there. I won't Grinch you out on that one. So, thanks for joining us, everybody. Get out there, live the full force life. Keep working hard. Keep planning your goals for 2023. Get those set and ready to go so that when 2023 hits, you're not playing catch up. And we'll see you next week for the Christmas episode.